Hi, this is Chris, Central Lakes Learning Center. I got a longer video for you today. We're going to change the strings on my electric guitar. So some of this information is transferable to the acoustic, classical, etc. If those are the guitars that you own. But this is what I'm going to do with electric because I need to change my electric guitar strings. So looking at our tools down here, we've got an Allen wrench because I have an Allen locking nut. Some of us do, some of us don't. This is also good in case you have a truss rod that you need to adjust. A string winder, and mine has a clipper in it, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we have a cleaner, which I used rubbing alcohol and a toothbrush to get next to the frets to clean. And then I have lemon seed oil, which I use a lot to recondition my fretboard after I clean it. So it kind of gives it longevity. It makes my guitar look really good for a long time. All right, so you take off anything that is on your guitar that is kind of in the way. These are my string mutes. I use a scrunchie and an actual string mute. Still prefer the scrunchie, it's faster. But anyway, I got my tuner here. I'm going to leave that guy on because he's bolted in. So take my Allen wrench, loosen this guy. Keep track of these. You do not want to lose them. Actually, go get me that duct tape that's in there, Jazz. What I like to do is usually I have duct tape sitting around. It's that purple stuff. We have purple duct tape. It's right there. Or I guess it's pink. So what I like to do, I have tape sitting around, is I actually just tape it to it. Tape it right to the table. Ain't moving now. Okay, so then I take my winder, and I just, as you can see, because I have a locking tremolo, I have it put backwards. So like right here, put it right here. So right here you can see that I have the string going through backwards. So this makes, in my opinion, there's not a lot of fact for this, but it makes it a better contact, and it also makes string changing fairly quickly. So if I bust a string, there's not a lot of measuring, and because there's historically speaking, Floyd roses and locking tremolos have been notorious with string change problems. So I just do mine backwards, and it takes at least one step out of it, which is nice. So there's not a lot to say during this time, except for it takes time. So that's that. So then I turn it around. I'm going to turn the guitar around. My daughter is running the camera. So Jazz, hand me my whammy bar. So we're going to need a whammy bar in this instance to see as we... Thank you, sweetie. Nope, that's not a whammy bar. Hand me the bag. We're professional. So, if you unlock these before the string tension's out, they will snap and hit you in the face, and you don't want that. So, as you can see, this is all my finger dust. It's not dust from not being played. It's actually probably from picks in my hands, which is probably appetizing to most of you. And that's why you want to clean it. Not that I'm worried about giving myself some kind of necropasciitis or whatnot, but I just like it clean. Try to get the strings out the best you can. So the first ones usually are the easiest, or these lower ones. And everybody wants to talk when I'm on video. There we go. Some of them are kind of sticky. You want to stick in there real good. You just kind of have to give a little bit of elbow grease. Now, just kind of get them through. My lovely assistant is helping me out. Oh, do you want to help, Jazz? All right. It's a good thing about homeschooling. Lots of handy helpers. Oop. And sometimes they will be brittle because they're being pulled so much. So there will be some poppage. So the little ball came off. As you can see, this is fairly easy right now. Nothing too complicated. Alright. Now wind those up really tight into a ball. So what you want to do, get them all, because even though these are flimsy, the ends are really sharp. And yes, they can puncture skin, and I've seen them puncture skin. I've seen one go through mostly the way through a guy's hand. And that's not fun. And you don't want to step on any of this. So find a garbage can and put it deep, 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 deep in there. Now it's time to clean. So first thing I do is get this old toothbrush, and you kind of just scrub. You're just getting all the little finger funk out from in between. Hold on just a sec. I'm going to take a good look at that. And I clean the headstock. You don't necessarily need to do that, but okay. So as you can see, this we're having some technical issues here, just dealing with those. So, right here, you get all this, look at that, get all that finger gunk. So, first you just kind of wipe it off. You're going to get most of it, but I like to get right in that tremolo body. And I don't think they use WD-40, but there is a tremolo oil that you can use. I try not to do this too much so I don't, take all the oil out. But it does help for it to be cleaned pretty regularly. So there you go. So we're kind of clean. Alright, so now onto this part. See, we're humming along. So this is the lemon seed oil. So the way I do it is I just kind of drop it and pull it. Give it some ample. I take that same rag I used a dry spot. So as you can see, it's wet in the middle. So I'll just use this edge. And I'll just kind of wipe it in. Kind of like you would do a polish or... let's go, boom, but it's not. And I'm just getting it pretty liberal in there. It does not hurt. It even feels, getting this on your strings, it's good. I used to do it after I put strings on for a time because it actually made the strings a little less, like they'd grip almost too much sometimes. Especially strings like Ernie Ball and stuff, their string winds are bigger. I don't know why. They just are. It doesn't make them bad, that's just the way they do them. And so when I used to play those, I used to have a problem sliding on the strings. Like if I wanted to slide up to whatever. Yeah. So this would kind of combat that. And also kind of brings on longevity. So now I took some alcohol and I'm rubbing off the back of the neck, not the front that I just oiled, but the back where the oil would have came over the top. Okay. So now I'm ready for this next step. And hand me the strings. So I use 10s. Luckily, the Dario color code there is, so I can't get them strong. I can't get them backwards even, which I've been known to. Let's throw that away for me, sweetie. All right. So we're moving pretty good pace. So I'm going to put my E through. My A through. And I used to pull these real tight. Where's my tool? I used to pull them really tight and not have a lot of gap. I mean, what I mean by that is like not a lot of extra slack in the string. But then, if that ball end ever did pop for whatever reason, there'd be no slack around the string to, and I put it in the wrong hole. See? Pays to pay attention. That's what happens when you talk while you work. This happens, go on. So you want it to be snug. You don't want it to break, or you're not trying to just, strip the wrench. But you do want to get a little slack. Hold on. Yep, there. So then as you do this, you just kind of recheck. See, as you can see, I'm pulling right here, keeping this snug, and you want the wind to go underneath. That is another useful help from the ball end. Okay, then do the same thing for the A. kind of just use your thumb, and you're still pulling tension with my index finger here, so that way it's nice and tight. You don't want there to be loose strings here. Okay, so do the same thing for the D. We're going to do the same thing for the E and the B and the E, sorry. So, black is D. He's the next culprit. And the G. I do 2 at a time because they come 2 at a time. That doesn't necessarily mean you need to do it that way. But it just saves a little bit of time travel. Throwing that around. So, boom. These 2. And so I'm going to grab that D, which is wound. Put him in that next one. Make sure you didn't, for a whammy bar and that kind of thing, make sure you don't put the string underneath each other and then tighten them down. Crisscross them. It takes a little bit of a pain to get them undone. Not undoable, but it's happened to me before. Okay. All right. If I had one of those power drill ones, I bet this would be even quicker. That's okay. I love these things. I used to do this by hand before they had these things. I'm not old. And every so often I'll just pull down the whammy bar and take some slack. Now that I've got 4 strings on there, I can handle that tension. Because there's springs that counter the tension in the back. And I don't want to overtax them, but... So here's the B and the E coming at you. B in first. And then the E. Right there. So, same thing as before. Okay. And the E, same bit. And try not to bend your strings too much. Like I got a bend in my string. It's gonna take some time for it to get out. If you crank it, that's gonna be on under your fingers, and that sucks because it will kind of give you a fret buzz. You almost need to ditch the string and get a brand new one. So if it's a real hard crease, I just recommend getting a brand new string. Because if your guitar falls against something and it crinks it or crimples it, it'll buzz. And some of us hate that more than anything. I'm one of them guys. I like nice low action. And we concentrate on playing instead of fighting. Whether or not you feel that way, it's up to you. Alright, so what I like to do here, now I got all the strings on, is kind of try to find the loose one. And I pull it up because you want this to be flush. So that's kind of where I want my guitar set. It's nowhere near probably going to be any of the pitches. But if I get it tight, okay, that was the nut, something passing through the nut, so just give it each way, so that way it's kind of right there. And then basically I'll tune it up from here and then lock it back up. So that's pretty much it. So thanks so much for watching. I look forward to the next video. If you're interested in guitar lessons or any kind of equipment help that I can do here at the Central Lakes Learning Center, come on down, 218-297-4650. And come on down for a guitar lesson if you're so inclined. I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.